Hey guys, what's going on today? Now, this is the first video of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War / Warzone / even MW, even though they don't update it, unfortunately, anymore, of the Season 2 for Black Ops Cold War and Warzone. And this is going to be about one of the new weapons that were added in the Battle Pass, called the FAR 83. Now, a little backstory on it. The FAR 83 is a Argentina assault rifle made in the early 80s, so it fits the era of Black Ops Cold War since the multiplayer does take place in 1984 and I believe 1983. But anyways, so this is like going to be a build for it that's based off of an Italian Galil called the B2, or as it's, I believe maybe its full name is the VB-STR. So we're just going to call it the VB-STR for the sake of clarity a little bit. But anyways, let's get into this. So first, I'm gonna show you the attachment on this. Here you go. There you go. It's it looks very weird at first, but it really does look good if you compare it to the original weapon, which will be the thumbnail of the video. So yeah, this is the closest I can make to it. But anyways, let's get into it. Our first attachment is the agency suppressor. Yesterday, if I was to make this video yesterday, I would have said you can use anything else but maybe the regular suppressor, because there was a bug that they fixed, I believe today, maybe, I'm not sure. They where they fixed the agency because the effects were not right, and it wasn't working well. So they fixed it on the GRU, the wrap suppressor, and the agency suppressor for all the Cold War weapons, except launchers and except launchers and specials, of course. But anyways, so we're going to throw that on because it gives you the pros being sound suppression, so you stay off that radar in Warzone, the vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, effective damage range, and the cons being aim down sight speed and aiming stability. Our next attachment is going to be the 13.7-inch takedown. Now, you can actually use the default barrel if you wanted. The reason why I'm using the 13.7-inch takedown is on the VB-STR, which, side note, it was made in the 80s, so it does actually fit Cold War a little bit. But anyways, it had this, type of barrel for it. It had, like, that type of, like, handguard. So if you use the default barrel, or basically, if there is any barrels that uses, like, that type of handguard from the 13.7-inch takedown and the default one, you can use that. But yeah, but for my build, I'm going to be using the 13.7-inch takedown. Next, is the field agent grip. Now, on the real VB-STR, or the Italian Galil, it has that sort of like field agent grip type look to it. It has like the pistol grip, or if you haven't noticed on the Krieg, they have like the same grip, which is a little weird. So basically, you just plucked it right off the grip of the Krieg, or as in real life, the AK-5 as it's called in real life. But anyways, if you look at it in the image, it is really accurate to this, and so that's why I decided to pick it. And the pros being that horizontal and vertical recoil control you really need on this gun because it's not really good at range. This is more of an up-close build. You can pair this with the sniper. That's definitely fine. But none of these grips really look like it, so this is the definite grip you're going to want to use. Now lastly, before we get to the very subjective attachment for it, this is the attachment I decided to put on it is the Stenag 60-round mag. Now, you would think, well, PJ, aren't you going to throw on the 60-round fast mag? You want to be quick. No, you don't really want to put it, because if you look at the gun most accurately, if you want the real aesthetic, for aesthetic purposes, and you really want it to be accurate to the real VB-STR, you're going to want to use either the Stenag 60-round or the 45-round, because they look exactly like the one in the image. Now, you can use whatever one you want, but for me, since I want it to be really accurate, I'm going to use the Stenag 60-round. Now, our final attachment for this build is going to be, you can use any one of these that I will say. Now, I will say, quick side note, do not use any one of these stocks, because on the real VB-STR now, there's very limited images of them, but it is real. I will say it is very real. But anyways, because it was part of a set of like sort of Galils that I forgot the name of the Italian company that made them, but they kind of like produced them and manufactured them and try to put them in service basically. But anyways, do not use any one of these stocks because they do not really match the real stock. The default stock is the best one, even though I will say the real one does not have like that sort of metal guard over the barrel, like right there as you can see. It doesn't have that, and also it has a couple more bars like that. It has a couple more bars on the skeleton type stock part of it. But anyways, so you're not going to use any one of these stocks. But now this is the more subjective one, and you can use whatever you want. I had a hard time debating about this yesterday when I was coming up with the build. And yeah, so I was having a little bit of a hard time with that. But I decided on a laser. Because I don't know, it gives you boost the accuracy, as you can see the pros being hip fire accuracy and cons being laser visible to enemies, but that doesn't really matter as much. And then you can either use either the SOF target designator or the SWAT 5mW laser. So as you can see in the stats, the accuracy, damage, and range are up. So if you want to use this, which I'd highly advise because this one puts your stats up a lot. So I'm actually going to go with the SOF target designator or the SOF target designator. But also, as you can see with the SWAT 5mW laser, the accuracy goes way up and the range goes up a little bit. But I believe the damage stays the same on both the steady aim laser and the SWAT 5mW laser. But I'm going to go with the soft target designator. You can use any one of these. Whatever one you want. I'm not going to judge, but yeah. But also, I will get a little bit of a mini tangent here. It's weird how some of the attachments are scrambled. Like, on this gun, there's some attachments scrambled on them, like in different places to rank them. But that's not the key thing I was going to say. Is some of these things that like have like Russian type things, like the Spetsnaz PKM. The real FAR 83 was never used and never was even touched by the Soviets. It was actually used by the Argentinian military. So it was never used. Like the KGB pad, Spetsnaz PKM would never really be possible because, as I said, the Soviets never really used it, so they probably wouldn't have attachments for it. Maybe on like third-party websites if you want to use your imagination a little bit. Maybe on like some, third-party, constructed, stocks for it. But yeah, so I guess that's how you could explain it. But yeah, anyways. Now, another thing you can do is you can use either the mill stop, since the real mill stop reflex, or, as it's called in real life, the Elbit Falcon. Now, another side note, sorry about another one, but this was actually in Black Ops 1. I use this on some of my guns because I just love, like, the iconic, classic, red dot from Black Ops 1 that was on, like, guns like the M16, the Commando, all those guns, and the FAMAS. This is why I really, liked when they added it into the game because of that nostalgia. Anyways, so you can either use this because the real Elbit Falcon was a Galil optic, so it would make sense to have it on an Italian-made, version of the Galil, which was Israeli. So it kind of makes sense. You can use the Vision Tech. Technically, it's used by Canada, mostly used by Canada, and I might actually, sneak peek right here. I might make a video on how to make the CA7, my build of the CA7A1, I believe it's called. I might show how to make a build for that, or CA7A2, I forgot the name of it, but I might show it, and it definitely will have this optic in it. I would not say, personally, for me, use the Cobra, because, it's, like I said, the Soviets never really touched this weapon, but it could be, for a third party, like, type Picatinny rail, as you can see under it, to mount it on there. Quick dot is fine. Axle arms is fine. Looks like a type of generic 70s, maybe 80s assault rifle, long range type ACOG. Do not really use the Silex Holo Scout, but, personally I wouldn't use it because the holographic sets didn't even come out to the 90s, almost 10 years after the gun was made. I believe the first Holo came out in 1997. Microflex is fine, but I would say some of the practicals at the time didn't have those type-looking red dots like the ones from MW3, Black Ops 2, COD 4. The ones that looked like that for the red dot didn't really exist till maybe like the 90s or maybe even 2000s. Hawksmoor is fine. It looks like a very 80s type optic. That's definitely fine. Roland Cross is fine. Suzat, I would say Suzat's a little bit of a stretch, but it could work. Personally, for me, Diamondback, do not use it because, like I said, it's not a Russian weapon. And the ANPVS, if you want to have a little bit of a challenge on thermal on it, be my guest. But yeah, so you can basically use any optic instead of the laser, except I'd say the Silex Hollow Scout, all the Russian optics, and that's it. And now the last thing you can use if you don't want a laser or optic is a grip. I would say, personally, use the Serpent, or let's see, the Field Tape, nah. Or you can use the SASR Jungle Grip. I'd say, personally, go with the SASR Jungle Grip if you want to be a little more quicker. If you don't want a laser or optic, you want to keep it bare bones. But for me, my build would be with the SOF Target Designator, which I would switch out for that. And yeah, guys, there you go. That is my Italian B2 model of the Galils that they made in the 80s. But we're focusing on the VB-STR. And yeah, this is my build for it. So I hope you guys liked the video. And smash that like button and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss anything that I upload. And yeah, guys, follow me on Twitter. It will be linked down below. And yeah, guys, what do we always say? Peace. Stay safe out there. Bye, guys.